He's with her. Sports fans, today, President Barack Obama made his much-anticipated full-throated endorsement of Hillary Clinton to be his successor as President of the United States. It was a day of much orchestration and fanfare at the White House, but here's the general outline of what took place. Fresh off of a bruising election night earlier on Tuesday, Bernie Sanders traveled to our nation's capital and, on his way to the Oval Office, stopped at a coffee shop for a historic scone. Then Sanders met with President Obama and afterwards spoke to reporters camped out on the White House lawn, saying that while he'll be competing in the D.C. primary next week, he'll ultimately do everything he can to stop Donald J. Trump, billionaire, from becoming the next president, signaling his eventual support for Hillary Clinton.
I spoke briefly to Secretary Clinton on Tuesday night, and I congratulated her on her very strong campaign. I look forward to meeting with her in the near future to see how we can work together to defeat Donald Trump and to create a government which represents all of us and not just the 1%.
A couple of hours after Sanders spoke came the big news of the day. The Clinton campaign released a 3-minute video produced by them in conjunction with the White House of Barack Obama, expressing his unequivocal support of his 2008 rival and former Secretary of State.
I want to congratulate Hillary Clinton on making history as the presumptive Democratic nominee for President of the United States. Look, I know how hard this job can be. That's why I know Hillary will be so good at it. In fact, I don't think there's ever been someone so qualified to hold this office. She's got the courage, the compassion, and the heart to get the job done. And I say that as somebody who had to debate her more than 20 times. I am fired up, and I cannot wait to get out there and campaign for Hillary.
In fact, President Obama and Clinton are expected to hold their first joint campaign event on Wednesday in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This afternoon, our Bloomberg Politics colleague Jennifer Epstein interviewed the presumptive Democratic nominee, who had this to say about getting her old boss's support.
Well, it just means so much to have a strong, substantive endorsement from the president. Obviously, I value his opinion a great deal personally. And as I've said repeatedly on the campaign trail, I think he has been a very successful president who's made our country stronger and fairer. And it's just such a treat because over the years of knowing each other, we've gone from fierce competitors to true friends.
So, Mark, it's a big day on the Democratic side of the aisle. My question for you, my friend, are what do you think the immediate implications are of this endorsement for Hillary Clinton and her effort to unify the Democratic Party?
Makes it much harder for Bernie Sanders to go forward in any way. Makes it much more likely the convention in Philadelphia is united. It allows Hillary Clinton now to go starting next week to Wisconsin, but I think to lots of other battleground states with the president likely, to create big splashing news events that'll be difficult for Donald Trump to match, and it allows her to raise a lot more money with the president's help. It's a big, important move for her, and the president did it exactly the way she would have wanted, because the coordination between this president and his chosen successor is tighter on a staff level than anyone in modern history.
Yes, it is the case. My understanding is that basically President Obama has been itching to do this. He talked, as we all know, he talked with Bernie Sanders on Sunday. The president has wanted to endorse basically from that moment forward. He would like to have endorsed on Sunday night or Monday or Tuesday, but he was very deferential, as was the rest of the White House, to what the Clinton campaign wanted. And what the Clinton campaign wanted was for this to be orchestrated in some degree of negotiation with the Sanders campaign. They wanted to give Sanders some space and some time. But even so, the urgency of this is pretty high. And so here we are, 48 hours after those big elections on Tuesday, exactly where Barack Obama wanted to be, exactly where the Clinton campaign wanted him to be, and Senator Sanders behaving in that comment to reporters and otherwise in a pretty cooperative place. So I don't think that you could imagine this whole thing could have gone any better from Hillary Clinton's point of view, or frankly from the Democratic Party's point of view, to be where we are right now, as I said, just 48 hours after the polls, after we got the result basically of the California primary.